Oh, God. Fucking bored as shit right now. Should have started it a half hour earlier. Also, good morning, Sten. Hope everything's well. All right, let's see. Close all that out. Minimize these. Minimize that. Get the fucking chat open. Uh, uh, I live on the coast, so the snow's coming down pretty heavily. We got a warning right now. Uh, we're supposed to be getting an inch to 2 inches per hour, with an expected 12 a foot to foot and a half of snow in some areas. And for Bristol County, some areas is usually Boston region. So we're probably going to get maybe a few inches later tonight, but it was raining this morning. The snow's melting as soon as it hits the ground. So I'll probably keep an eye on the snow just in case, so I can shovel the sidewalk and shit, because that's what we have to do here in the city. Uh, but other than that, yeah. I lost my. Also, apologies for fucking up my schedule. Not just half a week after stating it. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I lost my voice Tuesday. Uh, big fucking clusterfuck. A lot of emotional baggage that I'm still fucking dealing with. I hosted a D&D game. It was going nice, going well. We had a little setback because Mythweaver decided to be a cunt, and Skull's character sheet got cleared, so he had to make a new character sheet. Completely reasonable reason for why there was delays. And then just fucking was having fun with everybody playing the game, and just my mood for the last 3-4 weeks has been just building up and building up and building up, and it finally just overflowed. That's a clusterfuck. I just feel just like emotionally, I feel like I'm a soldier in the trenches of World War One, like at the Somme or Verdun. Like, I've been here since 1914. I haven't died yet. None of my companions are alive. They're either stuck out in no man's land or they're dead in the trenches beside me. And I'm just tired. Like, emotionally and physically, I feel tired. I've been putting up a good fight since 2005, September 20th. I've been putting up one hell of a fucking fight, and I'm just tired. So fucking tired right now. You have no idea. God. So that's an update for me. I'm tired. Exactly. I am fatigued. Might be a little scratchiness as the show goes on. I don't know how good my voice is. It feels normal, but like down near my vocal cords, where your collarbones meet. I forget the term of the fucking bone. Like it's scratchy, like in my throat, right down there. So I might start coughing a little bit or clearing my throat. Like, That's normal, especially for a smoker. I got a fair amount of topics to talk about. Um, uh, yeah. All right. So, news flash for anybody who's living under a rock. Betsy DeVos, the hyoid, right around there is where the scratch is. But Betsy DeVos, apparently it's an unprecedented thing in Congress or the Senate. Tie, a straight even tie for a nominee. Mike Pence had to break that tie, and surprise, a fucking surprise, he voted for Betsy DeVos to be Secretary of Education. And she wants to restore God's kingdom in schools. So expect news articles about fucking breaking the Constitution. You know, separation of church and state. It's a federally funded fucking school. Yo ho. Oh, we're going into some dark fucking times until fucking 2019 or 2018, because that's when midterms are happening. Donald Trump used the President of the United States Twitter account to defend and insult Nordstrom for cutting off his daughter's clothing line or whatever. People have pointed out that he's done more complaining and demonizing of Nordstrom than he has Putin. Kellyanne Conway, during an interview, did a product placement telling people to buy Ivanka's products. Sean Spicer defended I should be back now. Slight hiccup on the internet. Sean Spicer defended Donald Trump's use of the POTUS Twitter account to bash Nordstrom, and defended him for defending his daughter. So, like you pointed out, Stan, conflict of interest. Gonna raise a lot of questions for like the last 2 years. Feels like 2 years. Apparently, here in America, a guy kicked a pregnant Muslim woman, killed her 2 twins that were in the womb. That's fucking great. And people say fucking racism isn't fucking alive and well in the States. Fucking Christ. It's really hard to be optimistic in this goddamn day and age. Like, I try my damnedest. Like, you got to be hopeful that that the skies will fucking be the clearer, as Samwise Gamgee once said. There's some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. God damn, do I live by that. Like, just like, I have a fucked up view of the world. I really do. Like, I have a twisted sense of justice. When something awful happens to you for no reason, like if someone slights you and you did nothing wrong, like, a part of me feels like you should retaliate on some level. Like, there should be, like, good people should not have the shit beaten out of them. Like, and I'm not that good of a person. Like, I know people, like, all my friends, my family, they're always saying how good of a person I am, how selfless I am. It's hard to be a good person and just do what needs, like, do the right thing when you do the right thing, you get fucked. You consistently get fucked over. Like, I've been there for people. I'm always there for people. I'm there for people more often than I'm there for myself. Like, I I prioritize things. People are more important than I am in my eyes. So if someone's feeling shitty and like they need somebody, but like I am absolutely at my wit's end and I'm just depressed and I can't deal with my depression and I can't deal with things, I will just be like, you know what? I'm going to be there for that person. And I won't, and like, I have hidden a lot of problems that I've had to go through throughout the years. A lot of fucking problems. I don't talk about myself a lot. So like when shit like the last 2 months or going on 3 months happens, I feel worse because I know that that's making people around me worry and question things about me. And they start like ignoring a lot of their problems, and I feel like I'm a burden, and it just sucks. Like, oh God. Give me a second. Like, and I'll mention this because it's actually a pretty good, poignant example. I had two friends the last 2 years, 3 years, probably 2014 and then 2016. In 2016, my brother's childhood friend who lived in the neighborhood with us passed away. He had a life. He was going to become an MMA fighter. Had a good job. Had a girlfriend, family that loved him. He was doing everything right, and just car lost. He lost control of the car somehow. Nobody knows how. Just it wasn't snowy. It happened in August. He was driving with his brother. I guess they were going to the mall because his brother and him wanted to hang out, and he died. Brother's a good kid. Fucking his life is fucking grand, and he had to watch his brother slowly just die in the passenger seat next to him. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, just random. Like, I know it's random. It happens. Like there's no fucking rhyme or reason to life. I know this, but I feel like there should be a rhyme and reason to things. Like, Trump deserves all of the fucking negative shit that should happen to him, like, karma-wise. But we all know he's not. Unless he does something traitorous or fucking like that would cause him to be impeached. Even then, he'd probably resign before he's impeached. And he'll just keep on going. He'll keep on being who he is. People will still support him. He'll fuck up the country somehow. I know that, but I know that there's going to be a lot of stuff that can be changed when the next president comes in. Like, it's just good people always get fucked in this world. Whenever I take one step forward towards a goal, just something in my life throws a wrench in it and makes me take 2 steps back. And it's usually just myself that causes it, and it's not even like it's out of my control. It's my depression. Like, I've seen a therapist. I saw a therapist in 2015. I've been trying to see a therapist. Like, I was doing great for most of 2016. I was surviving. I was happy. And then shit hit the fucking fan abruptly, and I just felt numb, and it's just been boiling over. Like, I've stopped a lot of things that I like doing because it's just, I just have no interest in it. I don't have the passion. Like, I try to write. I've been trying to write a fucking fantasy novel and my D&D lore. And there's just a lot of emotional baggage tied to it, a lot of emotional baggage from talking to it towards certain people in my life, a lot of fucking good memories, a lot of fucking bad memories when it came to stuff when I was playing in the games. It was just happening in my life at the time. Like, I don't draw anymore. I had a muse. That muse is gone now, so I don't have the fucking, like, that fire, that flaming passion to just draw whenever I want to. I don't wake up anymore going, I want to draw something and just draw it. I don't. Not anymore. Like, I'm just tired. I don't have interest in anything. And, like, every day I wake up and I am just bombarded by more shit in the world, and it's like, why can't things just go good for a day? Like yesterday is considered a good day. A fucking guy kicked a Muslim woman, a pregnant Muslim woman, in the fucking stomach and fucking killed her 2 twins. Trump barely did anything yesterday. That's considered a good day now. Like, that's a good day? Like, I try to play video games. Like Skyrim. I sat on Skyrim for fucking 22 hours. I was having fun the first, like, 2-3 hours because I'm doing Dragonborn, the expansion I never played. And then just after a while, just the fucking joy out of it just got sapped out of me. Like, I haven't played Stellaris in a few days. Not even, actually. Let me see the last day I fucking played Stellaris. Fuck. Come on, Steam. Work, you bitch. Where's my lighter? There's my lighter. Fuck me. I don't want to be cynical. It's a fine fucking line from optimist to pessimist to me. All right, go to games. Yeah, I played Skyrim Monday. And Stellaris, last time I played Stellaris was last Friday. So it's been almost a week since I played Stellaris. And I just don't have the fucking urge. I don't. I'm just tired. Every day I wake up tired. I sleep like, I've had friends asking me, like, are you sleeping okay? Are you eating okay? And it's like, I'm sleeping normally. I'm sleeping 6 hours a night. That's normal for me. That's more than enough for me. I wake up at 6 in the morning and then I go to sleep around midnight because most of my friends on Skype will be like, hey, it's goddamn midnight or 11 o'clock. I'm tired. And I'll just go to sleep. That's not my normal sleep schedule now because of work all last year. And there'll be long spanses of the day where I'm just sitting here in my own devices, thinking and dwelling on things, fucking wishing things were better. And like, I know that's a bad fucking thing to do. Being isolated is not a good thing to do. But like, I got nothing to do. I'm not working right now. I'm unemployed until March. I'm waiting for my uncle to get to call me up. So he's like, hey, it's time to do some work so I could work with him. That's probably going to be a few days, but when I get home, like, I'm going to be alone. Like, I don't have friends anymore in real life. I don't. Most of my friends from real life are dead. And like, a lot of my friends online don't grasp that. Like, it is like, I am introverted, yes, but like, I can make friends. I make friends online all the time. But when it comes to being in person, it's more difficult for me to find somebody that I can actually consider a friend instead of an acquaintance. And it just sucks. It just sucks and I've gotten used to it. Plus, what few friends I have left are busy. What few friends are left in this world that I have, they have kids. Most of them have fucking 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. They're taking care of their kids. They can't go out and hang out at the bar. They can't go out to the mall or something. They can't go see a movie. Like, they have jobs, so they're busy all the fucking time. And then when they get home, they're taking care of their families. They're helping out their families. Like, I don't have that big of a, like, I have a family. I have my mother's side and father's side, like massive families, but I don't see them. They don't hang out with me. They don't try to connect with me. I only see them on the holidays, and that's it. We'll see each other fucking twice a year at most. Like, the only family I have is my brother and my father. My brother's 1,500 miles away in a Missouri prison right now, and he'll be there for 6 years. And he was the closest thing to a confidant / friend that I had. My father's a kind of a friend to me, but I hardly see him. Like, the only time I saw him last year was when I was working with him. Like, he's tried to try and make a point of seeing me, and I've tried of making a point in seeing him a lot, but scheduling. Like, I don't have the luxury of having a real social life. Like, I'm planning on going to Minnesota again this summer, possibly to hang out with my friends CJ and Abby, Abby Normal and Cobra Jones, or You Had Me at Hayek on YouTube now. He doesn't have his Cobra Jones channel anymore, but like, that's only going to be if I'm able to go, like, during the summer. It'll probably have to be during the winter when I'm laid off. So I won't even be able to fucking hang out with them when, like, on our plans. We were like, they asked me when I was there last year, last June, to come hang out with them in August this year, because I was gonna miss out on the fucking Renaissance Festival, and I believe it's one of the biggest Renaissance festivals in the country. I might not be able to do that. Like, I want to meet some of my online friends and hang out with them in person. Like Edible Napalm. He lives on the East Coast. He lives in Virginia. It's just having the time to do it. And like, it just sucks. Let's see. Yeah, we could hang out, Sten. You only live like from where I live, it's 2 states because Rhode Island's between us. Well, apparently I got work tonight, so that's good. Apparently my boss's wife will be calling me to confirm, so at least I'll do a podcast and then shovel fucking snow all night. So I'll get paid tomorrow at least. I believe tomorrow at least, or next week when payday comes. So I'll have money to fucking. I'll have my money for fucking internet for next month. Let's see topics. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 topics. I'm not going to do the spoony one. Just I've been in a malaise. I've been in a malaise mood lately, so I haven't really been able to fucking watch all the spoony stuff. I've got like probably 40 fucking things in my notes already. But let's see. My friend Lundy asked, "What type of anime do you like, and why?" Lundy expects me to say mechs or mecha anime. I actually like noir anime. I like noir anime more because it has a better storyline. Noir stories are more focused on the characters. Noir stories are more focused on the plot and characters and a mystery. I like mysteries. Mecha anime can kind of fucking spill into that, like Big O, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. Some mecha anime can be dull at times, like Gundam. Like I've been watching a fair amount of Gundam because of my friend Skull. They follow the same fucking plot points, point for fucking point. There's a young teenage pilot. He's inexperienced, and somehow he's magically destined to be able to pilot a Gundam, and nobody complains about it. A lot of fucking war metaphors, and war is bad themes throughout the whole thing. Character has a fucking mental breakdown at some point in any of the fucking series because he can't handle the stress of a war, which is a common fucking trope in Gundam. Same thing with like Eureka 7. Fucking they have some fucking overarching plot point like that. Like I like mecha anime, don't get me wrong. It's just for some like Cowboy Bebop is noir. Fucking oh god. I don't want to say Black Lagoon is noir. Give me a second because I got to look them up. Bacano, Ghost in the Shell, like standalone complex. That can kind of like that can I would kind of consider that possibly noir because it is a police procedural on some level. Darker Than Black. God, what else? What else have I seen? I think it was Cazador I saw. I think it was Cazador. It was either Cazador or it was Madlax. I think it was Madlax that I saw. That was noir based. That was a pretty good series too. I'd recommend it. But yeah, that's why I like it. That's the type of anime I like, Lundy. If you listen to this, not sure if you will, not sure if you're not going to. Let's see. Where's my fucking pen? There's my goddamn pen. Let me cross that fucking one out. Dan asked me, what got you into gaming? First games played. Yes, you can, Sten. You can recommend anything to me and I'll probably watch it. Also, hi, Jen. Hope all is well. Actually, I might take some of the money I get today, if I get paid today for my work. I'll probably invest in a cheapo headset with a mic, because it was a $5. It was on sale. It was a $5 pair of fucking earbuds with a built-in microphone. All you had to do was push the button, and it would turn the mic on. That was right, like probably 2 inches away from the left earbud. Didn't work, which kind of sucks. But hey, they were really good for it. Lasted me about a year and a half. Assassination Classroom. That sounds familiar. That does sound fucking familiar. Trying to remember if I've seen Assassination Classroom. God damn. It looks familiar, Sten. Especially with the, I believe the headmaster. Kind of looks familiar. So I may have seen it way back when. But I'll probably watch it again. See if I did actually watch it just like a while back. As to Dan's question of what got me into gaming and first games played, I remember, and this is going back to when I was probably 3 years old, 4 years old. I was living in a shitty city. This was back when I was living with my mother at the time. She lived about a block away from my grandmother's house. And it wasn't even my grandmother's house. It was her boyfriend's house that she was living with. And his oldest sister, his oldest daughter, not sister, she had an NES. And I remember watching her play Super Mario Brothers 3. And I think it was a couple months later, my mother got a Sega Genesis. Because there was a kid next, like right across, because it was a weird cul-de-sac, but it wasn't a cul-de-sac. It was literally just a driveway. The side of his house was on the street. The front of his house was like completely broadside parallel to the driveway. And it was double decker with a garage, and he used to have a motorcycle, so he would fix up he had like a workshop in his garage for his motorcycle and stuff like that. And there was an apartment building like 10 yards away that was connected to the driveway. That was like a 3-story, and like another 10 yards away, parallel from his house, was a 2-story apartment building. And then there was like a weird little picnic area, like a little grassy chunk of lawn that was connected to the house across from him. And there was this kid named Eric, and he's probably the first friend I ever had. He had, I believe, a Super Nintendo or an NES, because he had a Spider-Man game, and he also had a few other games. I can't remember what other games we played, but it was the Spider-Man game that I remember because of just how pants-shittingly hard it was. It was mostly black and white with shades of gray, and the only color in the game was Spider-Man's red. Like the red coloring on Spider-Man's outfit, and the rest of him was black. So his sleeves, his mask, his chest, and then the red spider, and his boots, and the belt portion of his outfit. That was the only red on him. Everything else was black with a few shades of gray to highlight certain parts of him, and white for his goggles. And I don't know. I would hang out with him. We'd play video games in his living room, and then like my mother would come to pick me up, walk me to my grandmother's house, which was literally 10 yards away, and then I would have something to eat, and then go back to it. She'd walk me back to his house. He'd have had lunch, and I'd play video games still. But my first console I ever owned was a Sega Genesis, and the first game I ever played by myself was Altered Beast. And the farthest I could get for years playing that game was level 2. Just level 2. I never got to level 3. I never beat the game. Even to this day, I can't beat the game. I think the farthest I've gotten in my most recent playthrough, which was like 2013, 2014. It was probably 2013 because I have videos that I was playing on viz.com, which is a good emulator site. It's not working for me anymore, which is a shame because I'd really be able to fucking make good Let's Plays with it because of the way that you can record at 1080p with no lag whatsoever to the game or your browser or anything you're on. Like, I could literally just record my voice talking over it and just rambling while people watch me play the game. But yeah, like I couldn't beat it. I do remember my when I was 4, must have been 4-ish. My father would since I was a toddler, my father would pick me up during the weekends, and I'd stay in town on the weekends with my father, and he lived with his mother and his father. And in the back room, which would eventually become my bedroom, there was a Super Nintendo, and there were no games for it. My grandfather had bought it, or it was either my grandfather or my grandmother bought it for my uncle at the time because he was living there too until he moved out. But there were no games for it. They just rented games from, like, I'd say about a mile down. There was a fucking a general store, and there was a few games that they had there that you'd rent out for a week, play the game, come back, and that's it. It was like $5 to rent any game. And so I never played the SNES when I was around that age, but it was when I was left abandoned with my brother when I was 5 at my grandparents' house, and I essentially started living there. That's when I started playing games. My grandfather started buying me games for it. I remember going to like a fucking Sears. It was either a Sears or a J.C. Penney, and they actually had a game section with a countertop, and you'd have all like Game Boy game, like original Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, like that had just started to come out. I had a Game Boy Pocket, and the Game Boy Pocket game that I can remember that having was the Star Wars game for that, with little chibis, Luke and Han. Never beat that. I remember him buying me Super Mario Brothers for the NES, and he realized that it doesn't work on the Super Nintendo, so we had to go back and bring that back in because it didn't work. So when he realized it was Super Nintendo games that could only work on a Super Nintendo, he bought a few games for me. I remember renting out Donkey Kong Country, and I rented that game out so often that the convenience store, Cortez was the name of it, the guy felt bad that I would have, because I would get upset that I had to return it, and so he was like, you know what, you guys can keep the game. Like, your grandson's come here like 5 weeks already. Like, he's the only one getting that game. He can keep it. So I still have that cartridge in a box. It's at my aunt's place with my Super Nintendo and all the games I still have for it. I didn't have a big library for the SNES. I didn't buy Mega Man X. My cousin Ryan owned Mega Man X, and I would play it when I was at my aunt's house. My father's sister, not my mother's sister. And that game captivated me. I had the Power Rangers fighting game where you had the Zords as 4 of the playable characters, and then 4 of the Monster or the Weeks characters. So Goldar was one of them, and Ivan Ooze was the secret big bad in that game. I had Baja Off-Road. I had Mario Paint. I had Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. I had Mega Man X2. Didn't get to play X3. I didn't own that. I had the Mickey Mouse Adventure game where he's in that fucking fairy tale book. Oh God, what else did I have? I had Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World on it. Secrets of Evermore. I think that's the one with the giant fucking red beetle. I remember renting that. I didn't own it. I rented Yoshi's Island. Never beat that though. I had Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. I loved the second one the most out of the 2 of those. I played the third one with my friend Matt, who lived like 2 houses diagonally from my house back in town. Earthbound. I remember borrowing that for a while from Matt because he had it. I think that's it. I think that is honestly the extent of the library. Link to the Past. I had Link to the Past for that. Game Boy Color games. I had Link's Awakening. The Mega Man Extreme 1 and 2 games. Pokemon. I had Pokemon. I didn't get Pokemon Blue or Red. I got Yellow with the clear case smoke clear case Game Boy Color. So I felt like king of the world because I was the only one of my friends that had a Game Boy Color and yellow version, and it was the clear cased ones. It wasn't any of the generic colored hard cases. My grandmother worked at BJ's, so she got me gold. No, she got me silver version, and my father's sister, my aunt, She got me gold version, and she got me a little attaché case that had Ho-Oh on it and was all gold with black trim. And you could open it up and it'd have a spot for your Game Boy Color to slide into, and it was like a net case, net pouch, and then you could put a couple game cartridges inside one of the pouches, and then extra batteries would fit into little like shotgun slug pouches or holsters, or like a pen holster where like you just slide it in. It's just like a little fucking piece of fucking stretchy fabric. I think that's it for the Game Boy Color. Like Rayman for the Game Boy Color. I remember having that. The Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets RPG game. That's actually, a lot of people don't know about that game. That is actually one of the best RPG games in the fucking Game Boy Color's library, I think. Because when you beat that game, you can actually do a plus game, and you'll have all the stuff that you found in the game. And you can actually continue to unlock stuff because there's 2 decks of Wizards trading cards. So if you go with the Merlin deck, you're only going to get a certain amount of the cards, and then you have to go with the oh god, I forgot the name of the other one. I think it's the Morgana trading card deck. That one will unlock the rest of them. And you find trading card. You'll find wizards wizarding trading cards, and you use those in card combo spells. So if you have like 10 of each card and you use it, that means you'll have 9 left. So it's kind of a cool resource manager, and it unlocks a lot of cool things. You unlock rare items when you collect a certain set, because you have each of the schools like divination, transmutation, alchemy, illusionist, stuff like that, and there'll be like a certain amount of cards that you need to collect. But yeah, like that's how I got into gaming. Just watching people most of the time when I was younger, and then wanting to do it myself. I know for the Sega Genesis. Oh, that's another game I had for the SNES. Spider-Man Separation Anxiety. Totally forgot about that one. I had the Spider-Man game for the Sega Genesis, the really shitty one. I had Maximum Carnage for the Sega Genesis, Mortal Kombat 2, Jurassic Park Rampage Edition, the Power Rangers fighting game, Sonic 2. I think that's it for the Sega. I only had like 5-6 games for the Sega Genesis, and I had like 10 games tops for the SNES. It was only when I started playing the N64 and the GameCube did my like library start to expand a lot. And then when I had the Game Boy, like the Game Boy Advance was probably the game system that I had the most games for. Like I had a fuck ton of them. I had Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Dawn of Souls, which was a updated version of it. I had Final Fantasy 4. I had Final Fantasy 5 and 6. I got Final Fantasy 3 for the DS. I remember that. I had a lot of shitty games for the fucking Game Boy Advance. I didn't pick them out. I usually got them as gifts. So like I had the Spider-Man movie game, tie-in game. I had the Bionicle fucking Game Boy Advance game. I had Sapphire and Ruby and Emerald. Yeah, just I've played a lot of the games. Too many to count. Let's see. Yes, I think Final Fantasy VI is I would say Final Fantasy VI is one of the best of the original. Because 5 and 4 are 4 through 6 I'd say the original 6 games of Final Fantasy, I would say, are 2 trilogies. 1 through 3 is their own trilogy, and 4 through 6 is their own trilogy. 1 through 3 is where there was very little plot. There was some plot here and there, but it wasn't really the big thing about the story for the most part. Like you're still just running around, grinding, beating bosses and stuff like that for the most part. 4 through 6, I would say, would be the story trilogy, where the story took more precedence over the gameplay itself. Like, you weren't fighting a boss like a mini boss, like the Mist Dragon, because that was just what was at the end of a dungeon. You were fighting that because it was part of the story, and it was integral to the plot. Like, you weren't fighting the weird one-eyed flying bat monsters on Cecil's flagship because it was just a random encounter. You were fighting that because it shows how good Cecil is. And so, like, you started connecting characters more. You started getting more invested in the stories and what was going on. The characters were developing more. They weren't just generic fighter, thief, red mage, black mage, white mage kind of shit. They were more like actual characters. So, like, I would say 4 through 6 are really, really good. To the best, I would say. Let's see. My friend Bella asked me, why are you interested in the things you enjoy? Well, that's a pretty complicated question for me to answer. I've usually been alone. I'm a very give me a second. All right. I got called by Pauline, Donald's wife. I'll be starting work around 6-ish, 6 to 7 tonight. So I got about 6.5, 7 hours left before I gotta go. But yeah. Oh, hey, Lundy. How you be? You missed it. I answered your question like probably about half hour ago. Half hour, 40 minutes ago. Um, I'm answering a question that my friend Bella asked me, which is why are you interested in things you enjoy? Uh, I've always been a very solitary kind of person. Um, my aunt and my father, they laugh about it. Uh, Yeah, no game tonight. Well, you actually, I think Skull said he might not be able to play, so I'm not sure if that'll be able to, if anything will happen. But if Skull comes in, at least Napalm, Sammy, and Jesus, I forgot fucking Skull. There'll be 4 out of the 5 party members, so you guys will probably be able to do something. But like my aunt and my father will laugh at times when talking about like my childhood. I don't find it funny. I kind of feel like I feel sad about it, and not like, oh my god, this is just sad. This is just awful. Like this is just shameful. It's more sad as in like Jesus Christ, like why? Um, so I'll tell you one of the stories my father told me. My great grandmother, uh, amazing woman. Uh, she would have me, my cousin Alicia, her sister Tiana, and like all the other younger cousins over that are around my age. And there was some toys there. Like we would bring our own toys as like because we were in the fucking car. So if I was playing with like a Spider-Man action figure or I had a bunch of action figures with me in the car, like I'd bring them upstairs and I'd play with them. And so my father would tell me like, yeah, I remember just sitting at the coffee table in the kitchen and I would just see you in the corner by yourself playing with stuff, like just playing with your action figures. And when somebody would come up and start playing with your action figures with you, you didn't get angry or upset or anything like that. You would play with them, but then once like they like their focus got turned to something, like if one of my cousins called them by their name and they just turned around, I would immediately pick up my stuff and walk to another, like across the room away from everybody, and I'd go back to playing by myself. And it's always been the way I've been. Like apparently I was solitary as a toddler, and growing up, like that's how I always was, which is kind of ironic when you think about it, because I love the woods. I love the outdoors. For I'd say up until 11 years old, I was a shut-in. I would go to school. I do my schoolwork, do all of the stuff that I needed to do, and then I would just go as soon as I got home because I have no homework because I do my homework on the bus or I do my homework in class. I'd have no homework and I would just sit in my room and I would just play video games. I would play video games or I'd be drawing comic books because I drew comic books nonstop from fucking elementary school to high school. Uh, and like the only social interaction I would have was if a friend came over, or if or like not even like, and this is going back like to like 2001, but like before Lord of the Rings came out. Like I would go over and play Pokemon cards with my friend Matt, and I met him just through sheer luck. He had gotten into a fight on the bus, and he was the first friend from school that I actually hung out with in person at the time. And it's just by sheer coincidence that he is the son of my father's friend from school. And we're neighbors. He lived like 2 houses diagonally from me, from my backyard. And so like like that was pretty much the most social interaction I had outside of school. Was maybe in a like once a week I'd walk out of the house, go down the street, or go next street over, and then I'd knock on a door, hang out with Matt, play video games, play play with Pokemon cards, and that's about it. And like other than that, the only other interaction I had was my grandfather. He taught me how to cook, taught me how to clean, told me like he would talk to me about Arthurian legends and like the history of my family and stuff like that. I'd hang out with my father when he wasn't tired, when he was home from fishing. My brother, on the other hand, was always outside. He was always BMXing, or later on in life, he took up skateboarding. But he had a menagerie of friends consistently through life, and I didn't. Like I had a group of friends in school, but I never really hung out with them. And then when like Lord of the Rings came out, because my grandfather had told me about it, he brought me to see the first movie. I don't know, just a fucking switch in my mind just popped out, and I just fell in love with it. Like I had seen the animated Hobbit movie, I had read The Hobbit, I like the Lord of the Rings. Like I had taken it out of the library when I started middle school, and it was too adult for like a 10-year-old to just sit down and read. Like it was too adult. I couldn't grasp the level of detail for it. But when I saw the movie, I fell in love with the movie, and just whenever I found something that I was interested in, I kind of just held on to it. It was something that captivated me and something that made me not feel alone. And it's usually because like a lot of the stuff I like reflects on my personality. Um, I love a lot of depressing movies. The Road, probably by far one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. It is horribly fucking depressing. The book is horribly fucking depressing. It's one of the books I have. All of Tolkien's works, Stephen King's works, Lovecraft to a lesser extent, H.G. Wells, Jules Verne. I have a few of Anne Rice's earlier fucking vampire novels. Terry Pratchett. God, who else do I have? That like, cause like I have a fair amount of authors. Like I have Byron's books in storage. I believe Byron also sent me PDFs of them, so I have the PDFs here on my hard drive, and I have them on a flash drive in case my fucking laptop dies and I can't recover everything off my hard drive. I have those, and like the rest of like the books that I've gotten over the years. But like the rest of the stuff I have are just history books. Like I have the Icelandic sagas, I have the Norse sagas, I have the Arthurian legends, I have the French versions, I have the Beowulf, I have the poem of that, I have the poem of Sigmund and Gudrun. Let's see, what else do I have? I have the academic discussions that Tolkien did. I have Christopher Tolkien's works after Tolkien, books 1 through 11 or 1 through 12. They don't sell books 6 through 12 in hard copies, at least from what I've found. Like I've gone to every Barnes and Noble I possibly could. Oh, Sir Conan Doyle. I cannot believe I forgot Sir Conan Doyle. Like, son of a bitch. I should have remembered his fucking goddamn name. But like a lot of the characters, and like in movies and TV shows and in video games, just in all the mediums, a lot of the characters I sympathize with and care about and get attached hopefully I am back. Says I'm back. Says fucking. It's got the fucking. It's not saying I'm disconnected. I know Skype's fucking up, but that's Skype. It'll tell me like everybody's online, but it'll keep swirling, being like, "Where?" Yeah, like right now, it's still fucking swirling around. Like when it comes to house, and now Skype's not responding. Lovely, just lovely. But when it comes to House, I want to be I can relate with a lot of things from House, like the character. But by the end of the day, like the character that is me is Wilson. Like Wilson's my favorite character from that series because he is me. He is exactly like me. Like he is depressed. Like life just keeps kicking him in the dick. He's always trying to be like the moral compass and trying to keep people happy, and like he enables people. He's always trying to live up to people's expectations of himself. He's always putting himself out there for others when his whole world is falling apart. And like Deckard, I can relate with Deckard from fucking Blade Runner. I heavily relate with the father figure in The Road. Like just thinking about that movie, like just fucking is like a knife in the chest, because it's like, yes, I would be doing exactly what he did, and I'd feel exactly how he feels about everything that's been going on. Spider-Man, like like a lot of my friends have said, like, you look like if you had spider powers, you would essentially be Spider-Man with like the shitty just your shitty backstory that you have. And to answer your question, Byron of Sidious, your titular character from the Freedom of the Fire two-parter. Like I relate to him. I like his character arc. I like the fact that he just his personality. I'm not. I don't believe Lundy was on the call a few nights ago, but Mike had asked me why Turin Turumbar from Tolkien's mythos is my favorite character out of all of them, and it's because he's essentially my avatar in that world. He does the same things I did. He thinks the same way I do. He's selfish and stubborn, but like he tries to do right by things. I relate to RoboCop. I relate to Wolverine in the X-Men movies. Like the first three, I relate to. Let's see. I relate to Doctor Doom in some sense. Bones McCoy from Star Trek. That is me. Just fucking a cynical optimist. Like I love Spock. I do. I really do. But there are some times when I am watching that series and I'm like, God damn it, Bones was fucking right. Bones was right to think the way he did. Do not make this all about fucking Spock being right. Like that's why I enjoy those things. Also, a lot of the shit I watch, there's hope. Yes, Frank Castle. I've argued with Napalm time and time again that Frank Castle is not a bad guy. Like, yes, there are times where I will disagree with his opinions on things. Like Napalm brought up the fact that in one, I think it was in the Max series, like Punisher came into a sex ring, and these two shitty like crackhead parents were making child porn and they were raping their own children, and Frank killed them without a second thought. And then he was walking away, and he's grabs the door handle, and he's about to open the door and leave, and he has a stray thought of, should I kill these kids too? Like, how the fuck are they going to be able to cope with things? Like, how are they going to mentally be able to live their lives knowing that like their parents brutally raped them and recorded them and was selling their like they're like selling the footage? Like, should I kill them? And like that's a tough question for me to answer. Like, as a human being, because like there's like I feel like there's hope that they'd be able to get help and they'd be able to cope with it and like just live the rest of their days not having that hanging over their head. But then like when it comes to me, and just like I've never been in that situation, and like even the fucked up shit I have, like I'm always thinking about it. Like I got attacked by a dog when I was 5, which horribly scarred me emotionally for a long time. I still have dreams about it, and that's 21 years ago. My grandfather's death still haunts me. Every friend that's died haunts me. All the horrible actions that have just played out still haunt me. And so like a small part of me is like, maybe Frank, like, yeah, exactly, Byron. Like there is a modicum of justification to it, but like it's a conflict. It is a horrible conflict. And like Napalm says, like he's a bad guy, and it's like, no, he's not a bad guy. Like, he's doing it because he's like the court systems are corrupt. And I appreciate Punisher because at the end of the day, even with all he's done, he's going to lose. For every bad person he kills, another bad person or 2 bad people or 3 or 4 will just take that person's place, and the cycle, it's just going to be a vicious cycle. Like, it's like at the end of the day, like he knows he's going to fail, and I respect that. Like my personality, I know that I'm going to fail. Like, I can't solve like everybody's problems. Like, I'm always the kind of guy that will always put people before me. And so like a lot of characters that I'm just attached to, like they themselves know that, but they're not going to stop. They're going to keep fighting the good fight. And so just over the years, just all the movies and comics and books and just all the mediums that I've just encountered, like I just hold on to those because it makes me feel good. It gives me hope. Like, if this person in this fucking shitty situation can do it, why can't I? Like, yeah, like at the end of the day, they're only going to like affect a few people in the grand scheme of things, and there's a lot of people that they've saved or they've helped or they've improved the lives of certain people, and those people will probably forget about them, but like it was the right thing to do. And so like it's made me bunkered down more in my beliefs. Like, it's my personality. Like it's not a fucking rational decision that I made. It's just through all the hardships I've gone through all the fucking like just like life has thrown a menagerie of shit at me, and I'm still trying to I'm still kicking. Like no matter how grim things are going to be, I'm still going to hope. Like I can't not hope. Like I'm just going to be here till the end of my days being who I am. And I've accepted that. I know some people in my life dislike the fact that I'm too selfless or too optimistic or naive about life, but like it helps me sleep at night sometimes. Like that's all I can say when it comes to that. Let's see. Skullholder asked me, gave me a topic to talk about because he doesn't know. He doesn't know why this happens, and the question is, and it's a big long topic, is why does Warhammer 40K attract neo-Nazis and white nationalists? And I did a little bit of research, after he gave me that topic, so I could confirm my suspicions onto it. And I was kind of grossly horrified that, no, you were kind of right, but it's bigger than what you thought. 40K is satire. It's satirical. The Imperium of Man is I would say, a logical conclusion to fascism in the extremist or the most extreme term for fascism. It's a theocratic fascism because they worship the god emperor. A lot of I would say that every race or faction in 40K is a different shade of fascism. Very totalitarian, but it's played up satirically. You smoke cigarettes, you get a bolt around through the head. You drink coffee, bolt around through the head. People are being called heretics for just asking a normal, logical question. If an Imperial Guardsman is why can't you send in the tanks before you send in 10,000 men to take that hill? He gets shot by a commissar because he's questioned the authority of the commissar and by and will the god emperor himself. And it seems that through the 40 going on 50 years that 40K has been around, it seems that neo-Nazis and white nationalists don't pick up on this satire. They think Game Workshop believes this, which is horrifying when you think about it. When I started playing 40K, I thought that the reason why pro-fascists in the gaming community that I would go to play 40K with, they liked it because Nazis, space Nazis. It's why a lot of white nationalists and neo-Nazis that I've talked to, when they bring up Star Wars, they're very pro-imperial. I thought it was just the aesthetics. I thought it was the aesthetics and the fact that it's pretty much an analog for their beliefs. And I always thought they knew that it was a pulpy satirical setting. Mork and Gork are the names of the orc gods, and the orcs love them a good fight. The Imperium of Man worships machines because they don't know how machines work anymore. And so they think, hey, to use that communicator, you need to do a seance to appease the machine spirits. Like they think that technology is holy, but it's not. They've become hypocrites of like what the Imperium the Imperium of Man used to be. And I always thought like everybody knew that it was satirical. It's grossly pulpy. But apparently, like, there's a vast majority of people that are neo-Nazis and white nationalists that just don't get that. And so they think that like this is like this strengthens their beliefs. Like this, they see it as a semi-utopia, which is horrifying when you think about it. Let's see. Second. Sorry, getting my cigarettes all set up. Another thing that I would say about the 40K is it's a very vocal minority in 40K, like the 40K community, I would say. Like Skull kind of fits into this niche where he likes the things neo-Nazis and white nationalists like. He shares interest in the same like his historical fucking shit that they cling to. And so I have a feeling that he's seen more neo-Nazis and white nationalists than I have in the entirety of playing and dealing with 40K communities. I didn't know that a lot of white nationalists love Lord of the Rings. Never knew that. Like, and I've gone to conventions for Lord of the Rings stuff in fantasy settings and fantasy conventions, and I've never seen a white nationalist in any of those settings. So from what I have seen, from articles I've read, from several people, it just seems like Skull's kind of fallen into like a vocal minority, or he's encountered that vocal minority a lot more often than I have. Like a lot of my friends that play 40K, like Skep, like Napalm knows a little bit about the lore, Angelic, CJ, Nick, Callants, so like just the people in Skype that I've been encountered, like none of them are white nationalists, none of them are neo-Nazis. Like they enjoy the setting because of just the setting itself and just how balls to the walls insane it is. So I don't know. Hopefully that answers that question. It's the aesthetics. It's the authoritative, like the authoritative, overbearing themes of those societies, and just the fact a lot of them can't pick up satire or sarcasm or pulp fiction, which is kind of insane when you think about it. Makes me giggle a little bit because it shows just how stupid white nationalists can be, and neo-Nazis. Let's see. I am actually breezing through a lot of these topics, which is good, which is a good thing. Oh God. Apparently Trump's hitting back from Gorsh because Gorsh is apparently standing by the I believe the travel ban, or again, standing by the senator that Trump wants to destroy, which is pissing off Trump, which is always lovely. I was also asked anonymously, what would you do with a time machine? What would I do with a time machine? Like, I think most people with a time machine, when you're asked this question, would be, I'd go back in time and change my life. And I feel like I'd be hard pressed not to do that. Change the last year, change fucking like all the bad things that have happened in my life. But like, I don't know if I'd be the same person if I did that. I'd like, if it wasn't for what I was going through in 2008, emotionally and just like in my life, if it wasn't for the shit going on and just the sheer amount of depression, I would never have gone online, and I would never have gone onto blog TV. If it wasn't for me being like really depressed over something that had happened personally to me, relationship wise, in 2008, if it wasn't for that, I would not have been on Blood TV, which means I wouldn't have gone on to Mannix the Pirate's blog or stream, and I wouldn't have met Chemo and Gloomy Sunday and Jill D. And then from meeting them, I met Napalm and CJ and Riff and Byron and Frank and Jen and all my online friends. I would not have met you guys if I went back in time and changed that singular point. If I had changed certain things from my past, I probably would have gone through high school and graduated high school. And I probably wouldn't have become a fisherman. I wouldn't have had to deal with financial heartache. If I went back in time, and if I went to high school, I would have probably gone to college, and I wouldn't have been online. I would have probably been more social in my later years than withdrawing more than I was before. If I went back in time even further than that and changed what was going on when I was a toddler, I probably never would have spent as much time as I did with my father or grandfather or that side of my family. So, like, I would probably try and change the grander scale of things if I could. I would have gone back to like I've mentioned this before years and years ago. If I had a time machine, I would go back in time and meet Tolkien, and I would bring a TV, a DVD player, and the DVDs of Lord of the Rings. And not only that, I would bring the as much news footage as I feasibly could bring with me. And I would go back in time, probably 1970, a couple of years before he passed away, and I'd be like, Mr. Tolkien, you don't know me. What I'm about to tell you is probably too fantastical. You'll probably think of me as a madman, but I would try and convince him to sit down and watch the movies. And I know he'd probably have gripes with them because they're not 100% to his vision, but then I would show him just the massive impact his books have had, just so he could like just make his heart warm. I'd want to make him happy. Like, you are going to go down in history as one of the greatest fantasy writers of all time. Like, I do the same thing for Teddy Roosevelt, fucking Woodrow Wilson. Like, I'd meet the presidents. Like, I'd go and see Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I'd show them that Obama becomes the president. I'm like, it's not going to happen in your lifetime, but the effects that you guys have had is going to be massive. Like, I'd want to save JFK from being assassinated. But I know that it ultimately probably doom like a lot of effects. Like, I don't know what would happen if JFK lived in his presidency. He'd probably win his second term. We probably wouldn't have gone into Vietnam, which would have drastically altered like history. I wouldn't have lost my legs in fucking 69. Like, Bubba wouldn't have stepped on that landmine, and I wouldn't have seen him die in the bush. Like, I'd go back in like, I just want to go back in time and just encounter the people that I find fascinating. I'd like, if I had a time machine, I would probably become the best historian, because there's a lot of things in the past that we don't really know about. Like, there's a lot of history and a lot of like information that's been lost, like the burning of like the Library of Alexandria. I'd go back in time and I'd fucking spend like a decade of that time just going back and forth, grabbing the books and handing it to people. Exactly, Sten. Like going back in time, you would have to be a spectator. You couldn't interact at all. At fucking all. You would cause a snowball effect, which sucks. Like, if I went back in time, like, I would, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'd abuse the system. I would go back in time. I would steal, there are certain things that I would want to take and bring back in time just to make a profit. Like, I would go back in time to when the first issue of Superman came out, and I'd grab 2 or 3 copies, and I'd wrap them in fucking saran wrap and bring them back in time with me, So I would have 3 perfectly pristine, hot off the press Superman issue number 1s. I would literally go to the creators of Superman and be like, can you sign these for me? Like I know you guys are kind of nobodies right now, but I'm still a fan of what you guys do. And I'd be like, oh, look at this. I have 3 issues autographed by the fucking creators of Superman. And it's issue number 1. Starting bid at $1 million, please. Like, I'd go back in time and like take fucking just take authentic, like I've always wanted an authentic sword. Like, I've thought of going back in time to like the stocks, like the stock market, and invest, like somehow getting like robbing a bank in like the 1930s or the 1920s, like, because I would have the knowledge beforehand, stealing all that money, going to another, like going back to Massachusetts and putting it in the bank and being like, I'm going to put this in this person's name. Like, put interest on this and put it into these stocks. And when he is of when he's 18, like, give him a call. Like, just Doc Brown it up. Like, Doc Brown was like in 1860 something in the West, and he wrote a letter to fucking Marty for 1950, like 1956, and sure enough, he got the fucking letter. So like, I would want to try and do that, but with stocks and like just finances, so that like years from now, like when I'm 18 and I'm minding my own fucking business, like some guy would come up to me and be like, you have $25 million in the bank that's been collecting interest since the 20s. Like, we don't know how, but like this eccentric millionaire fucking was like, hey, like this family needs it, or this kid needs it. Like, I'd go back in time to the Bigfoots, oh god, I forgot the goddamn name of the Bigfoot fucking footage. It's the iconic like Bigfoot walking into the woods. I'd go back to that point just so I could bring like an actual high def camera and record it and be like, yep, it's just a man in a monkey suit. Exactly, Jen. I'd find out what happened to the settlers of Roanoke, even though I believe they know what happened. Like, they intermingled with the Native Americans, or they just died out from sickness and starvation. I'd go back in time to find out like certain mysteries that we still don't know to this day. I'd want to spend a year in the teens during World War I and see how society was working. I'd want to record footage from World War I so that it wasn't just grainy, really shitty quality. But then again, like film was just becoming a thing. The same thing for Vietnam, the same thing for fucking World War II, Korea. I'm not even sure if there's a lot of footage for Korea. Like, I'd want to change 9/11. Like, I'd want to affect that outcome. Just a lot of fucking things. Just a lot of fucking things I would like to change in history, but I know I shouldn't and I couldn't. Because also, if I remember correctly, Jen, it's also blonde hair. If I remember correctly, like there were certain Native Americans that had blonde hair in that general region of Roanoke, which is unnatural for Native Americans unless there was European genetics at play. But yeah, like that's the best I can answer that. like what I would do with a time machine. Also, how is everyone doing? Forgot to ask. Also, hi Dan. Totally forgot to say hello to you when you popped into the chat. Well, that's good to hear, Sten. Let's see. Never better, always worse, Dan. Kind of talked about it at the beginning of the stream, how I've been feeling. Just tired. Like fatigue. Sten said fatigued. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm putting up the fight as best I can. Like, it's probably gonna have to hear this a second time, but like, I feel like a guy. Like, I'm just waiting for like the fun. Like, I'm just waiting for that one stray artillery shell. Just waiting for that one fucking shell to finally just hit. Because it's like, I'm tired of fucking just fighting. Sorry that League's stressing you out, Lundy. Hopefully my internet connection when the fucking weather clears up will be better. That way I can start playing with you and crowd. Because I haven't even played yet. I was thinking of doing a few bot games until I got to level 5, so then I can just play in a normal game with you guys. Also, sorry to hear that you're sore, Jen. Your teacher sounds like an ass. Thankfully, my throat's feeling a little bit better. Like, it's still a little scratchy here and there, and a little tense and sore, but I can manage with it. It's probably from smoking so much. Like, yeah, Tuesday night just went from good to bad, and I smoked, like, I had just gotten a fresh pack of smokes, and I smoked 3/4 of a pack in a night. And then, like, last night, like, you're on, Lundy, so, like, you'll hear this. Like, I'm sorry for leaving the group, like, leaving the call. I just didn't want to keep going. So I just was just like I just emotionally I could not deal with it. So I was just like it is very rare when I get into a just fuck everything right now and just go to bed. But that's what I did. I just spent my time. I grabbed a bunch, like 40 fucking videos, put them on my watch later list, pressed fucking play, and then I just laid in bed just listening to it, and I just fell asleep. I'm guessing you're looking forward to another wardrobe malfunction. Snow's coming down fairly thick now, so that'll be good. I'll be shoveling my ass off from 6 or 7, depending. Not sure how long I'll be working. Guy named Mud that works at the shop, he's going to be picking me up, and we'll just be driving around hitting every spot that Donald needs me to shovel. Probably going to bring my shovel with me. I've had that. It has to be the most generic snow shovel in the world, but I've had it for like 8 years now, and it's the best one I've ever used. God. That's another thing, like personality-wise about me. Because me talking about that shovel reminds me, like, I really don't get a lot of good, like, new things. Like, I've got a fucking medium Alice pack that I bought in like 2010, back when I was playing Airsoft a lot. I've had it for almost 7 years now. It's the best backpack I've ever had. Like, the sleeping bag I've had is 2 years old now. I've only used it a handful of times. The tent, I have a tent that's 2 years old. I've only used that a few times. I have fucking 2 military flashlights that I've had for years. The boots I wear still, those are fucking going on 4 years old now. They're battered. They're fucking covered in grease and paint and stains from just all the wear and tear. Like the treads are still there, but like the heels of the soles, they're kind of worn down by the way I walk. A lot of the clothes I have are fucking years upon years old. Like I have a jacket that's as old as me that my father gave me. It's a nice red leather jacket. I have a military trench coat I got in like 2011. My Carhartt jacket, I've had that since 2007, 2008. I got mugged in it, so like I have a big gash on the corner of it. So like all the fucking fabric that's used as insulation for it to keep you warm, that sticks out. Like I'm not gonna get rid of it. Like it's battered. It's like I find it insane that people care about what you look like when you're wearing clothes. Like, sure, there's a time and a place for what you wear. Like if I'm going out on a date or I'm going out to like a family dinner and it's a big fucking rompous thing, like a Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, I'm not gonna wear my battered up jeans and like a band t-shirt that I've had for 6 years, like my Led Zeppelin shirts or my Black Sabbath band tees. I'm not gonna wear that. I'll wear I'll probably wear a Led Zeppelin shirt with a white button up that I've had for years. That's pretty clean, pretty nice looking. Yep, I saw that. Lundy, Dear White People's. Yeah, it's getting its own Netflix series. But like I'll wear nice dress pants. I'll wear my all black Chuck Taylors that I've had for fucking 10 years that I've only worn like 5 or 6 times in that time. Like, I just don't care what I look like. I feel like I should be respected for my personality and my thoughts and my opinion. But for some reason, and it's a societal thing, if you don't wear like the latest fashion trends or you don't wear really expensive clothes, like people just dismiss you. And I feel like that's fucking idiotic. Like why should my opinions and my ideas and like just my being be dismissed because like I wear a ripped up jacket? Like it's insane to me. Like all the stuff I have is years upon years old because it's still useful. I'm getting use out of them still. Like I have a pocket knife that I've had for fucking 10 years. It's still sharp as shit. It's not broken. It's busted up. Like it's seen fucking 10 years worth of use, but it still works for what I need to use it for, which is usually to cut something. Um like I have a wallet that my grandfather bought me in like 2003. I still have it. It's falling apart. That's how old it is, but it's not falling apart to the point where it's like I need to get a new one. It's just got a little bit of water damage to it. Like I still have my Game Boy SP and a few games for it still that I had when I bought the fucking games. I'm not going to get rid of it until the lithium battery inside of it dies, and if that's the case, I'll just replace the battery. Like I have books that are fucking decades old. Yeah, yep. I saw that like bar. It's kind of like the Emoji Movie. So I believe it. It's probably white people that are pissing and moaning about it, Lundy, to be honest. Like I have some good clothes, like, but like it's weird. Like I'm not a summer person. I'm not. I despise the summer and I despise late spring. Like fall and winter for me and early spring are my favorite seasons because they're cold. Like they're cold and they're beautiful. Like like a snowy day like today is beautiful to me. And everybody's like, fucking, oh, I hate fucking snow. I don't. I'll spend fucking 10, 12 hours sometimes walking through the snow when I did live in town. Like, I love walking through an autumn forest. I like walking, like, I like going through a forest in the summer and in the spring, don't get me wrong, but it's just the heat. It's just the heat. It's usually like, it's the laziest time of the year because everybody's like kids are out of school, so there's nothing to do during your summer, just sitting around and like I just don't have clothes for that. I don't. Like during the summer I'm still wearing jeans, boots, fucking like calf high fucking socks, and I'm still wearing the same clothes I wear during the winter. Like I don't have shorts. I don't have fucking like clothes. Like I don't own a pair of swim trunks because I don't go out swimming anymore. Like as soon as I came back when I came to the city, I was just like, I'm not going to the pond anymore. I don't go to the beach. The beach is just a shithole. Like fuck these shorts. Like, but when it comes to winter though, I have like all kinds of long sleeves, pants, fucking socks, shirts, jackets. I own more jackets than I do like shoes. I have an aviator's bomber jacket with like fur trim, like rabbit fur trim around it that I can unbuckle if I want to. I have fucking nice leather jackets that I can wear that are good for the fall and like early spring. So like if I go out on a night out on the town in like September, October, even sometimes to November, like I can just wear one of those thin jackets and they'll keep me warm for the night. It's just the region of the United States I live in is predominantly fucking cold. And then like the last few years have kind of been a pain in the ass because usually during the summer it's between 60 to 75, maybe 80 here in Mass, in the area of Mass that I'm from. But then like the last 2 years it's been like 90 to fucking 100. Oh God, Lundy. I already know how that's going to play out. I already know how that's going to play out. And I'm not liking it. Also, like when it comes to clothes, the most I've paid for a pair of pants is like $40. The most I've paid for a pair of shoes is $35, and that's a pair of Chuck Taylors. Like the military boots I got now, I got for free. My friend gave them to me because he was in the military, and he's like, I don't want these fucking boots anymore. They're brand new. Like the fucking army gave them to me, like right when I was coming back home because they didn't know if I had boots or not, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, give me a pair of boots. So yeah, take them. They're like $190. I was like, oh, all right, thanks. And I've beaten the fuck out of them. Like they're gonna get their use. Probably the most expensive article of clothing I've ever spent was my bomber jacket. It's real leather and it's still fucking brand new, and that one set me back like $200 for a fucking nice leather winter jacket that'll keep me warm. That's it. Like I'm not gonna spend fucking $250 on a pair of Air Jordans or fucking $150 for a fucking like t-shirt or button up. Like it's a piece of fabric that you put on yourself. Like Mike has pointed it out before. Like people try and put an economic fucking stamp over your head, like with the term bum, like that. Like that's just like it's trying to make them fucking financially superior to you because like for whatever fucking reason they think that they're like superior to you. And so it's like, oh, well, I have an 86-inch plasma screen TV. You don't, you bum. It's like, why would I want to spend like $2,000 on an 86-inch TV when like a fucking 24-inch TV is more than enough? More than enough. Like, I'm happy having a fucking laptop. Like that's more than enough screen for me to watch a movie or a TV show. Just full screen it. Like I don't even need that when I'm watching YouTube videos. I just put it in fucking theater mode and just watch it that way. That way, if something happens, I don't need to close out the fucking full screen on it. I don't know why people have this hair up their ass where they're like, oh, I need to have the best and I need to have the most expensive. Like you should just go for the things that you need, like the necessities. You can splurge a little bit. You can spoil yourself. You deserve to be spoiled. But you don't need to just spoil yourself 24/7. Just indulge once in a while. Get a nice pair of pants that cost like $100 because you'll use those for like when you go out on the night out of town or when you go to a fucking get together or on a date or something. Do that. Don't buy fucking like $1,000 worth of fucking like those pants and wear those every single day. Like certain people in the world just don't grasp the gravity of like money. Like the job I haha fucking caught my internet before it crashed on that one. Exactly, Byron. Exactly. Fucking Patrick Bateman. Like most like, and I'm talking about a minority here, but it's like it's that fucking vocal minority that just pisses me off. Like 90% or 95% of the people I know in the real world, they're just regular Joe Schmoes. They're not fucking buying fucking like even on the city, like on the sidewalk. Like if I sat out on the balcony day in, day out the entire year, I could probably like if 1,000 people in 1 year walked by my house, probably 30 to 40 of them are going to be wearing like top of the line clothes. Everybody else is just wearing fucking normal clothes that they got from the Gap or Sears or J.C. Penney or fucking or Walmart or Target. Like you just go to a normal fucking shop that sells clothes and you buy those clothes. You don't go to a high end fucking place. Like there's a lot of people that go to like Hot Topic. I used to go to Hot Topic to get fucking band shirts and like fucking comic book shirts because I couldn't find any that fit. Like I couldn't find any in normal shops. Like I'd go to Newberry Comics. I'm not sure if anybody here has ever seen the Newberry Comics, but like they're all there's one like a city over from me. I used to go there all the time, and I didn't just go there for fucking clothes or T-shirts. I went there for Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, Dungeons and Dragons books before like Barnes and Noble. Like I've gone to a Savers before to get fucking secondhand clothing. And I usually went there not because I'm like, oh, I need these secondhand clothes because like I'm stingy or I'm poor. I'd be like, I want new work clothes. I want clothes that I can wear to work because like my job is gonna ruin the fucking clothes. But I'm not gonna spend $20 on a pair of pants just for them to be fucking ruined. Or $40 for a pair of Carhartt jeans. I'm not gonna do that. So I'd go to a secondhand shop like Savers. And I just pick up a fucking pair of pants for like $5. And it lasts me a month and a half, 2 months while I'm working on the boat or I'm fucking splitting wood or hauling fucking firewood out of fucking the forest and stuff like that. And that's the only time I'd wear those clothes. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all about it. But there just seems to be fucking some people in this world that just cannot grasp that. And it's just it just infuriates me, it just on a personal level when I hear somebody mock me or a friend or just anybody for like what they do. They're doing what they do. Let them fucking be. Like Ugh. Fucking annoying at times. Let's see. Let me check the news. Oh, that's right. Trump's contradicting himself. That's always good. Also, Nordstrom's shares went up nearly 5% because of Trump's bitching. Then there's the Pennsylvania politician who called Trump a shit gibbon on his Facebook. Trump's labor nominee said 40% of his workers were undocumented workers. So that's lovely. What a great fucking what a great shit sandwich we've got. Just absolutely lovely sometimes. Exactly, Dan. Like like I can't not care about words that are said about me. Like I'm very self-conscious. Like if it's a friend of mine or somebody like I care about that tells me like, my God, you look like shit or you look like a bum, it's gonna hurt me. But like if it's some random fucking nobody that I see on the side of the road and they're like, oh, look at that fucking bum, like in one ear out the other. Like I'd wear fatigue, like I'd wear my fucking OG 107 fucking Vietnam era fatigues because they're comfy and they breathe in the summer. Like I'd wear those with my combat boots and I'd walk around the city looking for work or just walking around doing my errands. And I'd have people making fun of me. Like there's people that make fun of you if you're dressed in fucking combat pants or combat boots. Didn't really fucking care. I didn't. Like I'm not gonna. I don't live next to these fuckers. I don't see these fuckers every day. I can always just walk by and just not give a fuck. But like, if like one of my best friends was like, "You're like you look like a fucking idiot wearing that," I'd start questioning myself. There goes the throat. Getting a little scratchy. Oh, I have way too many stories. Like, uh, like I was thinking of talking about my life and like things that have happened from like beginning to end. But at some point, like I'm just like I'll only do that if like like I have no topics for that day to talk about. That's it. Let's see. There's more and more fucking horrible shit coming out into the news. Oh yeah, the new 50 Shades of fucking Grey movie's coming out. That's going to skew a lot of fucking people again and misinform people again about the BDSM community. That's fucking lovely. They couldn't leave it. They just couldn't leave the fucking just the one movie. Like they didn't even show the fucked up shit in that movie. And like, God damn it. Also, today I believe is National Pizza Day, so that's cool. Let's see what else. Yeah, Byron. Oh God. Let's get some good books and get good movies out of them instead of fucking this schlock. Oh God, why all this schlock? We've got an Emoji movie coming out this year. 50 Shades of Dark, like 50 Shades Darker. Like the fucking Columbine shooting movie came out last year. So to answer your question, Byron, ignorant people, a lot of ignorant people, like I'm a fan of the BDSM scene and like the community by and large. I have had to argue with many a person in my real circle of friends who are like, that's BDSM. No, it is not BDSM. Like Christian Grey is not a dom, he's an abuser. That is not how a BDSM relationship works. Like the woman who wrote this does not know like anything about BDSM. And they're like, you're just a hater. It's like, no, because vampires don't fucking sparkle in Twilight, and you agree with that. And she didn't know anything about vampires or fucking werewolves or anything like Stephanie Myers. She wrote the fucking books anyways. She called them vampires and she called them fucking werewolves. And she just was like, "What do vampires do? They drink blood, and like they're super strong." And I think that's it. I think that's all. I think that's all vampires do. Should I research it? Nah, I'll just write. I'll just write this. And it's like I've read the first 50 Shades of Grey. I've read this like the whole series. I read it just to see like not because I was interested, but I was interested in a sense. I was interested in like how batshit insane it could be. And it was batshit insane in the fucking first one. Like And they didn't show that in the movie. And there's people who defend the books for their insanity. Like fucking Christian motherfucking Grey, aka Mr. Wooden Board Man, like cardboard cutout. Like, he sucks on a used tampon in the first book. Everyone defends it. Everyone defends it as love. He loves Anastasia. That's why he did it. It's like, you fuckers. If I'm madly in love with somebody, I ain't gonna fucking do that. Fuck no. No human being in their right goddamn fucking mind would do that. Nobody would do that. Nobody would beat their significant other near death. Nobody would abuse and like emotionally and physically torture somebody beyond their fucking like breaking points in a BDSM relationship. Doesn't happen. That does not happen in a BDSM relationship. The main focus, like just the main focus of a BDSM relationship is trust. The sub trusts the dom and the dom trusts the sub. Like, that's the main focus of it. When one or the other does not trust the other, then that is not a BDSM relationship. When one is emotionally or physically or psychologically abusing their sub, that's not a dom, that's an abuser. Like, there is just so much fucking shit wrong with those fucking books. And it's because it's so popular, it skews people's fucking opinions. Like, look at Twilight. There's a generation of teeny boppers now that have read and or watched those movies and think, hey, this is how I should be in a relationship. I should be undoubtedly dependent on this person. And if they leave, I should just jump off a cliff. Or just lay in bed completely dependent on this one person and just want to die because I cannot be with that one fucking person. And I've been in that situation before. But it's not because I'm dependent. It's because, like, my feelings were so utterly fucking just crushed. Like, I just couldn't continue on doing what I was doing. And, like, just the relationship with Edward and fucking Bella, like, Edward just would abuse Bella, and like Jake or Jacob, like, he'd abuse Bella, like and like that's not a healthy relationship. That's not a healthy relationship. That's abuse. That's abuse. It's awful, it's disgusting, and yet it's romanticized. And just people will fucking just plant their feet on the fucking hills to defend those to the death. And I just want to ask them why. Like, why do you think this is any fucking good at all? And yes, Byron, terrible. It is all terrible writing. There were my brother was dating his ex at the time when she gave him the 50 Shades of Grey books so that he could read the first one so they could go see the movie together on Valentine's Day. And he told me, let's read this. Let's read this together because you have told me some of the insane shit in this that you've overheard. We'll read it together. You can read it out loud and we can just laugh and mock the shit out of it. I remember not 5 to 10 pages into the first 50 Shades of Grey book, I took a highlighter to it. Every single fucking time I saw a misspelt or a misspelled word, I put a yellow highlight. I'd highlight it in yellow. And if it was a fragmented sentence, I took an orange fucking highlighter and highlight that whole sentence. And if there was fucking horrible spelling in it, I'd mark that one too. That whole fucking book was just graffitied from start to finish, which is all horrible fucking, all the horrible grammar, all the horrible writing, like just the run-on sentences and the fragments, just paragraphs didn't make fucking sense, perspectives didn't make sense. If I remember correctly, in the first book and in the second book, the fucking E.J. Brooks or whatever the fuck this bitch's name is that wrote the books, like she forgets how, like, what third person means, what a first person's perspective means when somebody's narrating. Also, I apologize, Stan, for making you feel sick for that fun fact about 50 Shades of Grey. Like, and yeah, Dan, like, ugh. It's just fucking just abysmal. It's a goddamn slog having to read through 50 Shades of Grey or fucking Twilight. And the fucked up thing is, like, the fucking bit, like, E.J. Brooks or whatever wrote the same, like, she did what fucking Stephanie Meyer was going to do. Stephanie Meyer was going to write the Twilight books again, but through Edward's perspective. And then when that was found leaked onto the internet, she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. E.J. Brooks or E.L. Brooks or whatever the fuck her name is, she's like, I'll do it. So she did fucking the first book in Christian Grey's perspective. And apparently she'll be doing the next two books in his perspective. Exactly. The list goes on. The list goes horribly, like, just sadly keeps going on. You could probably have a list of 500 different things, and it's not even, like, plot based. It's just all thematic and, like, literary, like, based shit. God damn. I got fucking 2 cigarettes left to last me the fucking day. So hopefully, E.L. James, thank you, E.L. James. I will say this: smoking cigarettes curbs your hunger. Like, I was contemplating having something to eat, but, like, I was just meh. I was blah about it. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just smoke cigarettes and drink tea. I'll probably eat something heavy, like something fucking substantial before I go out to work. I got chicken soup. I got plenty of beef ramen. See you, Sten. Give me a second. The snow's coming down pretty fucking heavy now. They said 1 to 2 inches a day. Not a day, an hour. So I'm expecting a foot to 18 inches. So that's good at least. What could I talk about? My my network connection is experiencing difficulties. Check out your connectivity. Well, that just disappeared. So I guess my connectivity is working just fucking fine. Um, uh, hmm. Looking forward to John Wick 2. I might actually go see it. Because that's coming out. I think it's coming out today. Today or tomorrow it's coming out. So I might see that. I might wait until there's a fucking stream of it online and then I'll watch it on stream because the nearest fucking like the theater I used to go to see movies, it was like $5 a ticket, and like the second nearest one, because that one closed down, which is now the closest one, it's like $15 a fucking ticket. I don't have time for fucking. I'm not gonna fucking blow $15 on a fucking movie ticket and then like $20 on fucking popcorn and drinks while I'm watching the movie. Like $40 to see a movie. Like I could just wait until the movie comes out and on DVD and just buy it then, or just torrent it if it need be. Like, God. But I'm not sure if I'll fucking pick up. I might rewatch John Wick. I think I have that as a. I think I have that somewhere in my DVD collection. Not entirely sure. But I'll probably watch that before I watch John Wick 2, so I can just go into it knowing what the fuck happened again. Also, if I remember correctly, there's a Voldemort fan movie that's on YouTube, or it's coming out on YouTube or somewhere online. That's supposed to be like following him as a kid. Like, I don't know. I've considered doing probably doing a nah, because I don't want to. Like, I'm probably gonna stream like Saturday. I got to do my second stream for the week. That's fucking goddamn cigarette. Saturday, I'm probably gonna be streaming Super Mario. I'm probably gonna be streaming either Super Mario RPG or Mega Man X. I'll probably do Mega Man X because that's quick and easy. Fighting Sigma though, like. And I'll either that. I'll probably do Mega Man X1. Play that. I'll probably beat it in an hour and a half's time, depending if Sigma's not a cunt. And then I'll probably do a playthrough of Mega Man X2, or I might just skip Mega Man X2 entirely and play 3. Let's see. God, I think think after that, I think Wednesdays will be my talking streams. Just rambling about. And then Saturdays will be my play streams where I'll just play a fucking game. I have Art the Lad. Like, fucking Art the Lad 1 and 2 are phenomenal fucking games. And then fucking Art the Lad 3 is kind of meh. So it's eh. Might do Mega Man Extreme for the Game Boy Color. I think the second one, though, is superior for Mega Man Extreme 2. I actually think a lot of the music that they remixed in those games is better than the games they were in, like Mega Man X2 soundtrack. Oh, God, Mega Man X2. Just why? Like, don't get me wrong. I like Mega Man X2. Like, it's a good game, but it's just kind of eh on some level compared to 3 and 1. It's like if they had, like, I know they couldn't keep the same formula as Mega Man X. They couldn't. Like, you can find you find the armor and the power-ups and stuff like that. And like you start off with the dash, which is good. But the helmet item is just kind of lame. It helps you find fucking hidden like lives, 1-ups, and like heart, like just extra like energy tanks to fill up your sub tanks and stuff like that. Like Giga Crush isn't really that useful of a fucking like an item, especially if you're really good at the game. Because like when you have Giga Crush, you need to get damaged. And so like it's kind of cool, it's kind of a good item or a good power-up if you're getting your ass handed to you. But like I've played Mega Man X2 and Mega Man X and X3, so I'm fairly confident in the game, so I don't really get hit that much. And it doesn't do that much damage. The leg upgrade isn't really as good. Like if I remember correctly, it's in X3 that allows you to jump, and then you can dash to the side midair. It might be the one in X2, but I doubt it. I think that's the one that just makes you like you can double jump. And then the arm cannon is just the same as the normal arm cannon, if I remember correctly. Like also the Maverick Hunters. That's another big gripe I have, is the fucking Maverick Hunters. Sergey, oh god, Sergey, Sergey Agile, and I forget what the other fucker is. But like the three of them, like you need to fight them to get Zero's fucking parts. Which again, I think his name was Violin. Like, and just having to fight them constantly, and then there's like if I remember correctly, there's like they come back. You can fight Vile again. A lot of the bosses are just not as memorable. Like, I think the only ones that I think are actually memorable are Crystal Snail, Override Ostrich, and Wheelgator. Like, they're and Wire Sponge. So like half the fucking Mavericks that you like of the 8 that are in that game, I can remember fondly. Like Bubble Crab, Flame Stag, Morph Moth, and Magma Centipede. They're just Also, like Magma Centipede and Flame Stag, so you have 2 fire-based fucking Mavericks. Crystal Snail and Bubble Crab are 2 like aquatic crystalline ice fucking based ones. Like I feel like they just didn't have enough variety, like they do for X1 and 2. X3, I mean. X3 added new shit to the game, like, you know, being able to play as fucking Zero. And just, it's just like the game, like X2, like just X2 is just annoying. Like, I might play it just to point out the flaws in the game and why I don't like it. Like there's a few noticeable like music songs off the soundtrack that I love, like the Maverick Hunter themes. I love the Maverick Hunter themes. Crystal Snail's level has one of the best Maverick level stages for that. But it's like Neon Tiger, Volt Catfish from fucking like I believe Gravity Beetle from Mega Man X3. Like those are fucking, like, just the intro music for Mega Man X3 is badass. Zero's theme, badass. Fucking the power, the upgrades, if I remember correctly, are the best like of the 3 games of the trilogy. Then you had like Crushed Crawfish, Tunnel Rhino. That's another good fucker. Oh god, I forgot. I do believe that like X can use the Z Saber, which is another badass thing that he can do. Like another badass thing added to it. God, what else? Toxic Seahorse, Blizzard Buffalo, Blast Hornet. Like, you have all these great fucking Mavericks in the 3rd game, and you have all the iconic ones from the 1st game. And then, like, for me, there's just like 4 in the fucking 2nd game. Like the armor, if I remember correctly, like I think the helmet does the same thing, like it does in the 2nd one. But then there's like chips, like there's little chips that you can put into it. Like, and yeah, because like if you go to Blast Hornet stage and you get the head chip and you put that into your helmet, your upgraded helmet, you can just stand there for a while and your energy starts to be refilled. So like before a boss battle, you can just wait. The body armor, if I remember correctly, it halves the damage, and like it gives you a 5-second shield. Then like the body chip does the same thing, so it doubles out the damage, like the damage reduction you take. The arm one, you get 2 arm cannons, so you can do double shots, and then like you get the hyper cannon when you get the arm chip from Gravity Beetle stage. You get to air, yeah. Like now I'm remembering it. You can air dash in X3, and you can do what you did in the 2nd game, which is dash up. And then like with the foot chip, you get to dash twice in the air instead of once. Or like you can dash up in the air and then dash to the side, left or right. You can also like cheat the, like I remember fucking cheating the system to like just like you like because there's codes in the game, so you could feasibly get all the chips. Like if I remember correctly, you can only get one chip in the game. You can only get the head, the body, the arm, or the leg, or the foot chip, and that's it. But then like you can get the cheat code or the password system, and you can use that to get all 4 chips and all 4 upgrades. So you're nigh unstoppable, which is awesome. God, I can't wait to play. Cannot wait to play. Also, apparently from Twitter, God damn it. Something about fucking Trump. New bill would require Donald Trump's White House to hire a psychiatrist amid fears for president's mental health. He hasn't even been in office that long. And he's already raising those kind of concerns. If there are questions about the mental health of the President of the United States, what may be the best way to get the President treatment? Democratic congressman has said he plans to file a bill to require the White House to hire an in-house psychiatrist for Donald Trump. California's Representative Ted Lieu told the Huffington Post, quote, "I'm looking at it from the perspective of, if there are questions about the mental health of the President of the United States, what may be the best way to get the President treatment? We're now in the 21st century. Mental health is just as important as physical health." He said he was planning to introduce the legislation early next week. 1928, Congress passed a law requiring a physician in the White House, but the law stopped short of calling for a psychiatrist because of the stigma around mental health issues at the time. Last week, Mr. Lieu criticized Mr. Trump for his tweets attacking the New York Times and defending his executive order on immigration, which banned people from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the United States. Quote, the last 24 hours on Twitter, Donald Trump went on rant about, quote, death and destruction, fake news, and evil. Should he get mental health exam? Mr. Lieu tweeted. In his Huffington Post interview, he said, quote, "It is not normal for the president to write about death and destruction and fake news and evil." He added, his disconnection from the truth is incredibly disturbing. When you add on top of that, his stifling of dissent, his attacks on the free press, and his attacks on the legitimacy of judiciary, that then takes us down the road towards authoritarianism. That's why I'd conclude he is a danger to the republic. Just fucking lovely. Don't really need that. God, just why? Just fucking why? I just cannot believe that Trump is in office. It's shit like that. Like, hey, can we dial back the clock again, please? So I can like somehow try and find a way to fucking steal like 5 million votes from like various states. Fuck off. God. I also going back to Mega Man X. Why haven't they done a fucking anime of it? Like, why can't? Why I want an anime of fucking Mega Man X. Like that. Like the biggest thing that pissed me off about fucking Maverick Hunter X was they had anime clips. They had animated clips in the fucking thing, and it was pretty interesting. It was awesome seeing fucking like the lead up to like the Maverick uprising and seeing Sigma get infected by the fucking the Maverick virus that Zero had. Seeing like X being built and then being put away in the capsule. Like do a whole anime on that. You would have like 26 episodes. 20 you could do 26 episodes, have a little filler here and there in between the episodes, maybe show like have a few episodes dedicated to Zero and what he's doing while like X is fighting the 8 Mavericks and trying to take down Sigma. Like you could flesh out the story more. Then you do another 26 fucking like anime series on X2 and then X3, and I'd probably just leave it at X3. Like, and then you could probably do a Mega Man Zero. You could probably do a series on that. That'd be cool. What would be another anime? I'd like to see like Big O actually ended on a high note instead of what we got. An actual Arc the Lad anime instead of the anime that we did get, which was kind of fucking really fucking watered down from the plot. Like the plot is fucking depressing in the game already. Like they had the Chimera, which was only the name of one of the fucking programs from Arc the Lad 2. They changed it from like in the anime, like anybody could become a monster if they took special monster like creation, like chimera pills. But like in the game, it's children that are being turned into monsters, and like they're being fucking conditioned. They're being mind wiped to be perfect bioweapons. I think that's more fucking horrifying and gruesome and dark than fucking, oh hey, let's take some pills. Though I will say the anime did end on a good ending. Instead of ending fucking in a dour, depressing, nihilistic kind of fucking ending that we got. But that ending works anyways. Let's see. I'll probably like, cause let's see, I got work. I might be working at 6 or 7. It's 2:30 right now, so I'll probably end it around 3 o'clock. I'll probably it won't lag out anything. I could record through Viz, so I won't have to deal with fucking like. There we go. Son of a bitch. Like, Jesus Christ. 3 fucking times it said, oh, you're connected. Like, the stream's working. You're connected. But it wouldn't show anything. God damn. Let's see. Hmm. Open up Windows Media Player, please. I want to. Hopefully everything's working. Seems like it is. See, I only got one real fucking cigarette left. It means I'm gonna have to roll cigarettes if I don't get fucking the money my father owes me. Give me a second. I'm gonna check the snow. Yeah, snow is falling down still pretty steadily. Seems like everything's kind of clear. Fucking window is completely covered though, where the screen is. So I'll have to get used to it. Yeah, I think I might hop off now. So it's 2:40. I'm hungry. I gotta get ready for work in like 3 hours. So I'll probably just bebop around online, read a couple news articles and stuff. I like. Let's see. Hopefully the stream did not die. It did not die. So I'm going to kill it. So thank you everybody that's come into the stream and actually like listened. Hope you all have a great day today. If you're in an area that's snowing as bad as it is here, just hope you're staying warm. Other than that, I'll see you guys next this Saturday. I'll probably start the stream around 11ish, 11:30ish again, like I always do. I think that'll be like the normal, consistent time. Probably gonna play, like I said, Mega Man X, and I'll probably have to just I'll probably have to bite the bullet and play 1 through 3. But until then, guys, take care of yourselves.